Welcome back to East Coast Wagering. This Saturday we have the Grade 1 Arlington Millions being run at Churchill Downs for the first time since the closure of Arlington Park. And say what you want about the quality of the field, the fact that they actually closed Arlington Park, and the turf course at Churchill, but this is one of the only graded stakes races this weekend, with the exception of the two large fields at Woodbine, that's even worth taking a look at because the other fields are so small, 3 of which only have 5 horses. I do think this is an interesting race from a betting perspective, and I do think there's a couple in here that have a legit chance. So let's take a look at the field of 9. The number 1 in here is Set Piece, who's 4-1 on the morning line and comes in off a 5th place finish in the Grade 3 Forbidden Apple. He went off the favorite that day and attempted to close from well off the pace. He did make up ground late, but could not get through the wall of horses backing up or running even. He appeared to have a ton of horse left, and he may have made it interesting if he had found a lane mid-stretch. That race was at a mile, and I think he runs better with a bit more distance. He has 4 wins and 5 tries at the track, and I do think the pace will be honest enough to set up his late kick. I think he's a major player here. The number 2 is Sacred Life, who comes in off a win in the Grade 3 Monmouth and is 9-2 on the morning line. He rallied from mid-pack, looping 3 wide into the stretch to win convincingly. Overall, it was a nice effort, but that field was on the weak side, and this is a considerably more difficult spot. The Manny Franco-Chad Brown combo has been on fire recently on the turf, so I don't think you can count this one out, but it just seems like this horse is the B squad of the Brown runners, and people will likely bet money on him based on the success of Brown on the turf. He may be worth putting underneath in your exotics, but I like the value of some of these others more. The number 3 Field Pass and number 5 Mega City are 8-1 and 15-1 on the morning line and come in off first and second place efforts in the Texas Turf Classic. Mega City crossed the wire first but was dropped to second after the stewards ruled he interfered with Field Pass. Of the two, I prefer Field Pass as Mega City will have to contend with likely post-time favorite Smooth Like Straight for the lead, and if he can put that one away, still hold off some talented closers. I think that Field Pass should get a nice setup, and he has shown some good races in his past against similar competition with comparable speed figures. He's not my top choice, but I like the 8-1 morning line price and will be using him a bit if he stays around that price or possibly even higher. The number 4 is the aforementioned 5-2 morning line favorite Smooth Like Straight, who ran second last out in the Shoemaker Mile. In that race, he stalked right beside the pace setter, overtook that one, but could not hold off the second choice, who closed for the win. This is a nice horse, but he just does not win races. Since his last victory in May of 2021, he has 5 seconds and a third, including a second in the Breeders' Cup Mile. Lifetime, he has finished in the money in 18 of 21 races. Keeping him off the board is going to be very difficult, but I just can't back him to win based on his recent history. On top of that, he stretches out from a mile to a mile and an eighth after running the mile distance in his last 5. He gets a jockey change for the second straight race to the capable John Velasquez, but with all these changes, it seems the connections are trying to figure out how to get this horse to win. As the likely post-time favorite or possibly second choice, I want to look elsewhere for the winner. The number 6 Santan is the second choice on the morning line at 3-1. He last out finished a disappointing 6th in the Grade 1 Manhattan on the Belmont Stakes undercard. He seemed well placed that day, running second behind the pace setter and eventual winner Tribhuvan. Turning for home, Tribhuvan kicked away while Santan showed no response and was passed by a number of competitors. Until recently, I was unaware that he had emergency shoe repair in the paddock, which possibly could account for the lackluster effort, but it is also possible the mile and a quarter was a bit outside his range. Given he won his previous in the Turf Classic, it was curious that he ran so poorly. But he returns here to Churchill, where he won that race, and I'll give him a bit of a pass for the Manhattan. I expect a better effort here, since he should get a nice trip from just off the pace at a track where he won in his only try there against an arguably better field that day. The number 7 Admission Office is 10-1 on the morning line and comes in off of a last of 5 effort in the Grand Couturier. He was placed off the pace in 5th throughout and did make up some ground in the stretch, but the pace was slow for the mile and a half race, so speed held and his jockey gave him very little chance that day. He should get a more favorable pace setup this Saturday, and I love the price you're going to get. He's 3 of 3 in the money at the distance and 4 of 4 at Churchill with 2 wins. This is his 3rd race back off an extended layoff, so he could be poised to run his best effort yet. I'll play him at the nice price. The number 8 Cavalry Charge is the longest shot on the board based on the morning line at 20-1. He comes into this race off a second in the Jonathan B. Schuster at Horseshoe, Indianapolis. He sat off the quick pace about 3 lengths behind and did get up for second by a neck after slowly grinding away at the leader through the stretch. With 1 win in 6 tries this year, mostly against similar competition to this field, I do get the big price. I don't think he likely wins this, but I actually like him better than a couple of these others, and at those odds, I will be playing him underneath hoping to catch a price. The final entrant is the number 9 Cellist, who sits at 15-1 on the morning line. His last race was the Colonial Cup, where he went off the favorite but finished last, if you don't count the horse who lost his jockey. He pressed the pace but backed up throughout the field in the stretch. It wasn't a particularly fast pace, he just didn't have it that day. He's 2 of 2 at Churchill, and maybe the cutback will help, as he is 2 of 2 in the money going this distance. My biggest issues are that his speed figures are well below the rest of these, and that I can't find any horse of quality that he's ever finished in front of. He isn't a terrible horse, but I don't think he fits at this level. My plays in order are the number 1 Set Piece, the number 6 Santan, the number 7 Admissions Office, and the number 4 Smooth Like Straight. I'll also use the number 3 Field Pass and number 8 Cavalry Charge for value underneath. So that's how I see the field. Maybe it lacks a little bit of the luster that the Arlington Million has had in recent memory, but it is better than the 5-horse Beverly D or the 2 5-horse fields that you're going to find at Saratoga on Saturday. I do think that it's a competitive field, and I do think it's worth taking a look at. Thanks for watching my video. This is Jeremy Pielmeyer for East Coast Wagering. Have a great day.